All right, my friends, here we are continuing at number 10. So what time was it? 15 minutes before the time shown on the clock. So let's go ahead here and figure out what time it is. So if I look at my clock, my minute hand is right here. So I'm going to count by fives until I get to the 11 and then add 2 more minutes on. Let me zoom in for you. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. So I am at 57 minutes, and here's the tricky part. My hour hand looks like it's almost right on the 2, but we know that we are 57 minutes through the hour, so it has to be 1:57, because in 3 minutes it's going to be 2 o'clock, and our hour hand will be right on the 2. Okay, so it wants to know what it is 15 minutes before the clock shown. So one of the strategies that we learned about in this time interval lesson was subtracting if you want to know 15 minutes before. So I'm going to take 1:57 and I'm going to subtract 0 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, so 7 minus 5 is 2. 5 minus 1 is 4. 42 minutes, and 1 hour minus no hours gets me to 1:42. So 15 minutes before was 1:42. Okay? Now if you wanted to hop back 15 minutes on here, you can do that too. Just be careful not to make an error. All right? Number 11. All right, let's see. A bag of popcorn has a mass of 336 grams. Marty served himself 42 grams of popcorn. What is the remaining mass? So his whole was 336 grams, and the part that he gave himself was 42 grams. So we want to know what is left. Okay, so we know that our whole is 42. Oh, I'm sorry, our whole was 300. Here, I'm going to start over for you. Our whole is 336 grams. The part that he served himself was 42. And we're wondering how much is left. Okay, so we can go ahead. We're finding the difference here. We're finding the missing part. So we are going to subtract 336 grams minus 42 grams. Make sure that your 42 goes in the right matches up with the place value, so the 10s and the 1s. So 6 minus 2 is 4. I can't do 3 minus 4, so I'm going to take 100 away and bring 10 over. I have 3 already, so it's 13. 13 minus 4 is 9, and 2 minus nothing is 2. So he has 294 grams left over of popcorn. Okay. Number 12, Kylie and her friends started playing mini golf at 11:07, and they finished their game 51 minutes later. What time did they finish playing mini golf at? Okay, so the first thing that we're looking for, question number 1, is what time they finished. It says write your answer on the line, and you may use the clock to help you. So let's go ahead and put on our clock what time they started playing at. So I'm going to draw 11:07. So I know that my 7, this is 5, so 6, so 7 minutes would be right about here. So that is my minute hand, my long hand. Okay. And then we are in the hour of 11, and it's going to be pretty much right on the 11, my short hands, right? Because, there we go, because we just started the hour. So we want to know 51 minutes later what time it is. So if it's 11:07, I think the best way to go about doing this is hopping 1, 2, 3 minutes to get to 11:10. So that's plus 3 minutes. So that brings us down, because 51 minus 3 to 48 more minutes. Okay, So we have 48 minutes to go. The reason why I hopped 3 minutes to land on 11:10 was because it's much easier to add on now, because all I have to do is count by fives for 48 minutes. The reason why I took those 3 minutes away from the 51 is because we just added them on, okay? So now that I am at 11:10, 3 minutes has passed, I am going to jump 48 more minutes. So 5, oh, sorry, something's in my way. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48. Okay. So what time is it right now? Well, if my hour, I am still in the hour of 11, and if my minute hand went around the clock 51 minutes, I am at 55, 56, 57, 58 minutes. Okay, 11:58. Now, you didn't have to do it this way if you wanted to add 51 minutes onto 11 o'clock. If you wanted to do your time interval with your hopping mountains or create a number line, you could do that as well. The reason why I use this clock here is because they gave me this model. They left it available for me, okay? Yours might even have looked different from this. The reason that mine looks the way it does is because I chose to hop 3 minutes first so that I can end up on 11:10, which made it easier for me to count on, okay? So my answer would be that they finished at 11:58. Number 13, decide if the mass of each object is most likely measured in grams or kilograms. Write the letter of each object in the correct category in the table. So for this, it's really easy to make a quick little mistake. So what we want to do is make sure that we remember that 1 gram is about the same weight as a paperclip. And we know that 1 kilogram is about the same weight as a dictionary. So we know that kilograms are heavier than grams, okay? So an alligator would probably be weighed in kilograms because it is a much heavier object, okay? A mouse would probably be weighed in which one? It's small, so it would probably be weighed in grams. A bee is very small, doesn't weigh much, so we would also use grams to measure the mass. And an elephant is heavy, so we would use kilograms, okay? Number 14. Margarita thinks each item below weighs about 1 gram. Do you agree with Margarita? For each item, choose yes or no to show your answer. So let's go ahead and see. So once again, she thinks that these items all weigh about 1 gram. Okay, so we know that 1 gram is about equal in weight to 1 paperclip. So is a pen about 1 gram? Yeah. What about a bandage? If you had a bandage in your hand, is about 1 gram, about the weight of a paperclip? I would say so. What about a banana? Banana is definitely heavier, okay? It doesn't weigh a lot, but it's definitely heavier than just 1 gram. So we're gonna say no. Feather, really light, can barely feel it in your hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Okay. And last, but not least on this page, we have the bottle contains 500 milliliters of water. Tiffany thinks the liquid volume of a 6-pack of water is 600 milliliters. This is her work. 500 times 6 equals 600 milliliters. Do you agree with Tiffany? Circle your answer, yes or no, and then explain your thinking using words or numbers. So let's think about this. She thinks that the volume of a 6-pack of water is 600 milliliters. Well, what do we know? We know that this bottle right here is 500 milliliters. Okay. If this bottle is 500 milliliters, would she be correct? Would that make sense in saying that 6 of these would be 600 milliliters? No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so we don't agree with her, but why? Why don't you agree with her? Okay, well, what did she do incorrectly here? 500 times 6, does that make sense? Well, it does make sense because we know that you have 6 bottles that are each 500 milliliters. Okay, so this part she is correct. Okay, so her multiplication equation is correct. But her answer is incorrect. So boys and girls, what do we do? If we know that 500 times 6 is the correct equation, how are we going to find the answer to this? Okay, well, we know that we can do 6 times 5 and then add our zeros on, okay, to get to our correct answer. Or you can add 500 6 times. So 6 times 5 is 30. Great. And then we're going to go ahead and add our zeros, our 2 extra zeros, okay? Now the way that I want you to do this also, if this way is easier for you, is to add 500 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Put my comma to show my thousands place. So her answer should be 3,000 milliliters of liquid. Okay? And then we are on to our last page. All right, Janet got in the hot tub at 5:16 and got out 51 minutes later. What time did she get out of the hot tub at? Okay, so she got in at 5:16 and we are gonna hop 51 minutes. So I'm gonna go 10 minutes, which gets me to 5:26. 20 minutes, which gets me to 5:36. 30 minutes, which gets me to 5:46. 40 minutes, which gets me to 5:56. 50 minutes, which gets me to, stop and think. I'm gonna be in a new hour, so 6:06 plus 1 more minute gets me to 6:07. Let's make sure that we have 51 minutes here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 1. So that is 51 minutes. And I am at 6:07 p.m. Okay. Or I guess it could be a.m. depending on, she's an early riser. Let's show 6:07 on our clock. So we want to show the end time. So our minutes, we want to count 7 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my minute hand is at the 7, and my hour hand is at the 6, and it's basically right on the 6 because we just began the hour, okay? So that is your math pretest. I know I went through it a little bit quickly, but I don't want you to have to sit and listen to a video for too long. So if you have any questions on any of these or confused about any of them, or if you want me to explain it a different way for you, then please video call me. I would love to go over these with you together, okay? Go through this, make sure you double check your work, and again, write down your questions if you have any for me.